The film begins in a miserable world where the human race has been eliminated due to a deadly disease that spreads a virus and begins to destroy the entire world and infects people, and the police begin to kill people infected with the virus. Then the commander of the special forces shackles the wife of one of the officers of the special forces, and he is the hero of the film. John Arad, the commander, was killed the woman, because John does not want to acknowledge the location of the infected people with the virus who fled from the village, numbering more than 500 people, and when he said that he did not know his whereabouts, the leader killed his wife without mercy. One night, when he was spending the night reading and drinking by the fireplace alone, he remembered the past when the leader and his men executed some infected people. When he tried to stop the leader, they caught him and called him a traitor before expelling him in the next scene when John was drinking some alcohol. He remembers when the leader tried to explain to him that he had killed his wife, Amelia, that she was infected with the virus. John shouted at him and said that Amelia was not infected and that they should have examined her to make sure, so he said that they had done that and she was already infected, but John did not believe. After that, the leader asked John to conduct examination because he was immune to infection, and he might be able to help save some people, and after they took him to a room to check him, John hit them all and managed to escape. Returning to the present, and one night a girl appears in front of John's house and she is infected. In her body, he extracts her, and then begins to ask the girl why the special forces are following her, but she loses consciousness. After 2 days have passed, John tells the girls that he wants to live in peace and does not want to get into problems that cannot be resolved, and that she should leave the house after her recovery. Suddenly, John remembers himself when he was a soldier. The next day, when he wakes up from you, his kiss goes out to find Maria, and she is trying to cut wood. John takes the axe from her and sends her to rest in the house. In the house, while he was cutting some wood, 3 soldiers appeared looking for the girl behind him and told him that the girl was infected with the virus, but John scattered his vision of the girl, and when one of the soldiers came forward to search the house, John killed the 2 soldiers and entered the house to discover that Maria had killed the 3rd soldier with a gun. John asked the girl about her story and he said that he should know until he decides whether he can help her or not, and the girl says that she does not remember anything. The girl offered John help, so he ordered her to clean up the mess he had made. Doing something with him. In the next scene we see the commander and Dr. Felix Budd. They wonder what happened to the soldiers who were sent to search for Maria, and Flex but decides to send another team to search, and back at John's house, he asks Maria again about how she found him in the woods, and all he can remember is that she was wandering in the woods after they shot her. Maria asks John if he wanted her to leave, but John decided to help him. John told Maria that the soldiers who were looking for her were the same ones who killed his wife. Remembered John Amelia when she prepared cakes for him. They loved each other very much. The next day, John and Maria began to prepare the place and the forest for the soldiers to come. John put traps and built a large barrier wall and prepared weapons, and during his preparation, Maria noticed that John was not afraid, so he told her that fear is an unreal feeling, unlike pain and death, so Maria told him that love and life are also real, but John replied that love and life end, but pain and death remain forever. Forever later John continued to prepare for the attack, and later that night the girl revealed her story and said that she was in a laboratory owned by the army, and after a lot of experiments the army discovered that her blood is a vaccine against the virus, but the army does not want to treat people with the anti-vaccine and they want her to stay. The girl is with them so that they can control the world, and for this reason, the girl escaped from the army, because she wanted her blood to reach all people, and if anyone was infected with the virus, he could recover from it. So John made sure that the girl brought problems with her and asked her to leave the house because he could not help him. The next day, the soldiers attacked the house to search for the girl. When they entered, they discovered that he was generous, so he killed two and a third had caught the girl, but John shoots an arrow at him and kills him after they hide the bodies. Preparing weapons and traps around the house. The girl went to fetch some water from the river, and when she was there, she was surprised by the presence of the army and many officers. She was arrested and informed their commander that the girl was with them, but John reaches the girl and kills the officer, but the commander survives. When they return home, John and the girl find many officers and the army, and they kill them all. The commander informs that John took the girl, and the commander began to prepare a plan to attack the house and ordered the officers to kill John, but without exposing the girl to any danger. She tells the assistant commander that John has a strong motive to kill the officers, and this motive is personal, not just to help the girl, and that there is something hidden that they do not know. The commander sends a group of other officers of the mercenaries, but John eliminates them, and the commander notices that most of his soldiers have been killed, so he decides to go himself to fetch the girl. Then Felix Bat comes and beats John severely and knocks him down and takes the girl and enters her into a tunnel under the house. After entering the tunnel, they are surprised by the presence of John alive. And John kills him when he and the girl escape. He finds his assistant, the commander, and the soldiers have reached the tunnel. After an exchange of fire, John puts the girl in a hidden place so that no one can reach her. His assistant commander comes out with John, and the officers start beating John until he recognizes the location of the girl. John says that the girl she died, but we discover that the leader who killed Jean's wife is in fact John's older brother. John offers him to fight without weapons, and John kills the leader, his brother. And he finds her. The army celebrates the fact that they have the cure now, which means that they have power and control the world, but unless they know that Maria left John 3 samples of her blood when she was in his house and left him a message telling him to give it to people so that they can develop a cure for the virus and save humanity. Man Down, directed by Vinsongi, starring Cristi Aldo, Daniel Name, Daniel Stezin.